Okay, so, of course, we will head out here soon. Across through this area here, this long Prothean Skyway. And we will hop in the Mako to do so. But, as I may have been saying before, if you are having any second thoughts about who you want to have on your team, then this is your chance, your last convenient chance, to switch things up. And, theoretically, a little bit later on, you could switch. It'd be very inconvenient, and then a little bit afterward, it is quite literally impossible. You are fully locked in. And in terms of how our team is looking for the rest of this mission here, as you may have guessed, the reason why I was bringing Tally was because we have run into a lot of Geth, and she is certainly one of, if not the best person against Geth, so she's very great in that sense. Liara has been good for crowd control purposes. I think, from here on out, that is actually going to become the most important factor here, so Liara, if anything, is an even better fit going forward, although we may start to prefer a bit more tankiness or even additional crowd control. So if we could clone Liara, that'd be great, but unfortunately we can't.
Not something an intelligent being would typically say.
Alright, well, here goes nothing then, I suppose. And that doesn't look good. Nor does that. Alright, so we have some friends, as it turns out, and it's a little hard to see them from over here. But they are some armatures.
We are receiving a weak comm signal. I cannot pinpoint its location through the Geth of the Vids.
Okay. Weak comm signal of some variety, and we have... Oh, I was going to say a lot of armatures, 2 more, although I was surprised to see how quickly we got rid of that one there. I think there's another one still right up there. I doubt we hit that one until just now. Take that, buddy, old pal. Oh, hold on. Can't stop us. Okay, and other thing worth noting, we are on this very skinny area on our map that we could have seen on our mini-map, or we did look at on our mini-map. As you can probably guess, if you do go off the side there, then, well, that's just say that that's the end of us.
Commander Shepard. I still can't get a fix on the location.
Right.
Any sign of movement? Elizabeth could still be in there. It's only been a few days.
Huh. Okay. Sounds like not Geth, so that's a good sign, I suppose. Let's carry on. I don't think we're gonna find much out here in terms of loot, at the moment at least. Signs of, yeah, more enemies. Yeah, wow. I mean, that was just one shot. Was that an armature, or was that something else in the same spot as it? Nah, I think that must have been something right next to the armature. I was gonna say, fairly certain we cannot one-shot them even with our main cannon. There we go. What was that, like 3 shots? To tell you the truth, that still might have been other people next to the armature, not the armature itself. Because it's still there. It is definitely still there. That may have hit us. It kind of has some cover here. Yeah, careful with those jumps.
I'll wait as long as I have to.
Whoa. Yeah, that cover... Oh, I was going to say, might have been stopping it from taking those hits, but there we go. It is down now. And you may notice on our map here, we're still seeing a few red dots, although there doesn't appear to be anything over here. Well, hold on, maybe there is. How about that guy right next to us? That rocket trooper? He's dead. For anyone hanging out next to him, there does appear to be a spot on our map that saying there's an enemy more or less right on top of us. But we don't see any now, even if there may have been a rocket trooper that was hanging out right under our nose. But the reason for that is because if we hop out here, and of course you want to make sure that you do take out those armatures before you do this, otherwise they will potentially rip you to shreds, though at this stage we're strong enough we can probably take on an armature. Not with so much trouble. And then in Mass Effect, the original version, of course, you got additional experience for fighting on foot, but with there not being a penalty for fighting the Mako in Legendary Edition, that's not a problem. But you see over here, we can actually go down below the Skyway. This is where we'll find this other person. Or, more likely... Yeah? Hello? One would assume... Oh! Hanging out down here. Hello? You're just chilling. Like, totally just chilling. What if we just, like, sabotage you real quick so that you can't actually hit us with anything. Though, there might actually be a glass container, or, like, barrier there. I'm not entirely sure. But, they have put up that little barrier. And, no, I think we did overload you based on how you got those red little sparkles around you. So then, I mean, we can, or rather sabotage. We can sabotage you again if we want. Though, speaking of overload, technically speaking, that would deal more damage to their shields on this occasion. And may have just completely destroyed the barrier. I honestly did not even know that we could do that. However, we are now in, I believe, one of the most significant locations in the entire game, for reasons that I have alluded to on several prior occasions. Now, I may have this spot mixed up with another very similar looking spot, but let's take this technician kit first. And so at this point, we've leveled up a fair bit recently, and we are now, it seems like, consistently getting at least level 9 stuff. We've seen occasionally even level 10. So that's good stuff. Before we encounter this crate, let's save, and you'll see why that is, if this is in fact the place that I think it is. Because if we check out this crate here, of course we will have to do a decryption to actually unlock it, and if we succeed here, then sure, we'll get some items, and not anything super interesting other than just, again, more level 9 stuff, which is not bad. But notice how we gained, as per usual, a bit of experience there, 124. That may not seem like a lot, but if we save now, and then reload said save, let's take a quick look here, see if I'm recalling properly, because you will now notice that after reloading that save, we can still unlock this crate again. So, just to clarify, we did save after unlocking it previously, so this is an incremental time in which we are opening the safe again. We can do it multiple times. As long as you save in between and reload those saves, there is an infinite number of times that you can open this crate. Why is that significant? Because you can continue to get the items, but more importantly, you'll see in the bottom right corner, again, you get experience every time you do that. And so, this is the infinite experience crate. And therefore, you could stay here for as long as you'd like and get as many levels as you would like, up to potentially the level cap, although I think we've recently established that it does not appear as though there is a level 50 cap in Legendary Edition. I assume that the level 61 still exists, though. So, if you really wanted to, you could stay here and open this crate, saving every time you do, reloading that save, and do this for who knows how long until you actually get up to, you could go all the way up to 60. In fact, well, let's just say that once upon a time, I did in fact do this. And the thing is that as you start to get higher level, the amount of experience that it takes to level up gets exponentially higher, at least once you start getting close to level 60. So it takes a very, very long time if you want to get to level 60 just through this spot. We won't do it here because it would take like I said, a very long time. But if you are interested in grinding out some levels, then this is a place in which you theoretically can do it. And for that reason, you could also theoretically go to Pharos early just to do this. If you want to make a point of doing this over and over again, I recommend just, like putting on a podcast or something in the background as you're doing this and just pay attention to that, and, you can kind of just autopilot through all that stuff. But it is, if you have the patience, theoretically a way for infinite experience, and eventually you'll run out of inventory space, but a lot of items as well. So that is a place that is near and dear to my heart in that sense, because, like I said, I did, oh my goodness, how many rounds was it? Over 1,000, possibly over 1,500. I did it on console, so it's not like it's directly in front of me and I can directly reference it here, but it was some absolutely absurd amount, and it took an extremely long time. Like, probably, I don't even know if I could put a number on it. Maybe on the order of 10 hours, and I went from something like, it was my second playthrough, so I'd already reached the level 50 cap on my first playthrough, and then it was on a New Game Plus for this, so I was probably like level 52 at the time, and then I probably went up to level 58 or something, and then just from there on out, assumed that through the rest of the game I would gain enough experience to still hit the level cap. So that's the extent to which you can do all that stuff. It's pretty crazy. And Thomas Halo, thanks for stopping by. Good to see that you have done Ferris recently as well. On the original Mass Effect, oh. Yeah, so like I said, that is...
Some kind of vehicle, not one of the Geth.
What is this?
Visual, we must be close.
Dealing with the Geth is more important.
I mean... ¿Por qué no los dos? Let's take a look at our map here, and maybe our journal as well. So we saw previously we had that long, skinny Skyway area, but now we actually can't even look back at that. We've got Ferris Skyway Way Station, which, based on upper way station marker there, it seems as though there may be multiple levels to this. Let's take a look, though, because we did get our main quest update here. So I think more specifically, we have the option to investigate the mysterious signal. You detected a mysterious signal that seems to be coming from a different group of colonists. If you think it's worth your time, track down these colonists before heading to the Exogeny headquarters. Now, we definitely will do this. Trying to remember, there's at least one minor subcomponent that I know you can still complete, even if you don't pursue this, just because you'll run into stuff later on over the course of the mission. Trying to recall if that's the case with everything here, but let's just say, to be safe, you should probably look into this. So, anyways, let's carry on here. Oh, and we also did get some equipment from fighting those Geth, and also from opening up that crate previously. So combat optics, again, we definitely could use some weapon upgrades, although the accuracy ones, not so excited about those. The frictionless materials, though, I'm a big fan of that. So that's big. Kinetic coil as well, I'm a big fan of that too. So in fact, so much so that we might now be able to throw on some upgrades of some variety. Yeah, because we were using the combat optics, and then weapon stability is just, it's hard to get excited about that. But we can now go with frictionless materials would be a little bit of damage and heat damping, so we can shoot our weapon more before it actually overheats. I think that's most relevant on assault rifles most of the time, so you can just hold down and keep on shooting nonstop. Although if you're doing some shenanigans with explosive rounds, or just other like hammerhead rounds, sledgehammer rounds that can heat your weapons more quickly, then it can be useful for that purpose as well, and oftentimes that would be on a shotgun in that case. So that may not necessarily be something that is terribly necessary for Shepard on our pistol, since, you know, that's basically what we're restricted to here, or at least what we're most often going to be using as a Sentinel. Though we can actually upgrade our stability upgrade here, get a little bit of damage and a little bit of incremental stability as well, because we only had like level 7 previously. So that's definitely good. The person who that's probably most relevant for, though, would be Tally. She is the one who's going to be using the shotgun more effectively, because she actually has training for it. So we could give her some heat damping, better stability. What did we have? We had scram rail. This is the important one, the extra damage, and reduced heat absorption. So again, getting some reduced heat, or what is the phrasing for it? Getting some additional heat damping from something like frictionless materials could be helpful for that reason, to kind of counteract that. So we might go with that here, or just throw on an upgraded version of these stabilizers, if we still have any of those remaining. We do. Let's see. We have an upgraded version of the scram rail, though. I mean, that's level 9, so I suppose we probably are not going to get that so easily. Yeah, maybe in that case we do go with the frictionless materials here. I think there's probably better matches for that long-term when we have people who are more so going to be using heavy weapons, like assault rifles, things of that sort. Let's see, is that the way we came from? Now I'm all disoriented after we were just hanging out on the pause menu. I think this is where we're looking to go. And it looks like we may need to hop out of the Mako to actually fit down here. And I recommend, just to play it safe, why don't we save here? Just to be certain. And it seems as though we have found some additional people here, so that's a good sign after running into all those Geth, right?
That's close enough.
Relax, Jong. They're obviously not Geth.
Get back, Juliana. Who are you? What do you want?
So, here's the thing. We're obviously not Geth. We are, in fact, here to help, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Commander Shepard, I'm here to remove your Geth problem.
You see? You worry too much.
And you trust too easily, Juliana.
I'm just glad to see a friendly face. I thought we were the only humans left on this planet.
No, as it turns out. I mean, there is a long skyway full of Geth in between you and the colonists on Zeus Hope, but you are not alone.
Fidan and some of the members of Zeus Hope are still alive.
I thought you said they were all dead.
I said they were probably all dead.
They're surviving
Important
despite
distinction.
everything the Geth have done to them.
We know what that's like. Those damn synthetics are relentless.
Yeah, we can relate with that.
I'll do whatever I can to keep them away from you. But I need some information.
What kind of information?
This guy
Ignore
is
him.
quite skeptical.
The Geth are up in the Exogeny headquarters, just a bit further along the Skyway.
Those headquarters are private property, soldier. Remove the Geth and nothing else.
Alright, don't worry about it, buddy.
I'm not interested in your company's secrets.
Commander, before you go, my daughter, Lisbeth, she's missing.
They shouldn't waste time poking around. We can do a proper accounting of our casualties after the Geth are gone.
That's one way
my
to look at
daughter
her
you're talking
daughter.
about.
Yeah,
She's still alive. I know it.
it's kind of harsh. Do you know where she is? I suppose we could also ask about other details here, but I'm hoping we can still do that after we inquire further about your daughter.
Where is your daughter, Juliana?
She was working in the Exogeny building when the attacks came.
Oh, yeah, there were several places she could hide. For a short time.
I know it doesn't look good, okay? But we'll find her. Don't
She's
worry
in
about it.
there. I'll get her out.
Thank you, Commander. Thank you.
No problem. That's our job. Okay, so we can ask more about the colony. Maybe we start with that.
How did you get split up from the Zeus Hope colony?
That does seem
Most
strange.
of us live closer to the Exogeny building.
But I suppose if you work at
Zeus Hope was
Exogeny, that does
mostly
make
used
some
as
sense.
support. When the Geth hit, we scattered. Until you told us about the others, we assumed they were killed in the first wave. If we had known they were still alive, we might have attempted to join them.
I mean, we did just clear out a lot of Geth in between you and them, so theoretically it could still be possible.
They're fairly secure now. Maybe you should do that.
No. I don't think that's a good idea. We have no vehicles, and the Skyway offers little...
This guy is such a worrywart.
Like the building we're in now?
Listen, our best hope is to sit tight and wait for company reinforcements. They'll come eventually.
Yeah, you're in like this random little garage building. How long can you hold out in here? Because I would not think very long. It's not like you are set up to have a sustained colony. I mean, sure, things weren't going all that well with Zeus Hope, but we did just help them get more sustainable power, water, and food supply in place, which is probably more than you guys can say. As for, do you have any sense as to why the Geth attacked in the first place? I mean, we, of course, have our suspicions, but with it theoretically being associated with Saren.
Do you know what the Geth are after?
I have no idea. We certainly haven't found anything of use. Something Exogeny is keen to remind us of.
We
Alright.
need to recoup our expenses. It's nothing personal.
Okay, so that doesn't tell us much else. Suppose we asked about maybe more so the location of Zeus Hope. What about the actual colony and the colonists?
Tell me about the colony.
We established ourselves here 4 years ago. Growth was steady until the attacks. Our biggest challenge has been the lack of resources. There's just so little here of value. Still, we were making a go of it. It was even starting to feel like home.
I mean, I would think that's all the more reason to try to make sure that you can reunite with the rest of the colony. But why did you specifically join?
What brought you here?
I guess I thought this would be the start of a new life. I wanted to go where I could feel like I was making a difference. Instead,
Fair enough.
everything we built is destroyed.
Oh, but that...
It's very hard not to lose hope.
Yeah, you know, I mean, there is burning rubble behind you. There are, you know, waves of Geth attacks, and hey, you got separated from the rest of your colony, so I mean, I suppose there's definitely some truth to that. I guess maybe we can talk more about your daughter's location?
Where is your daughter, Juliana?
Although this might just be
Somewhere at the
a
Exogeny
repeat.
headquarters.
I think it is.
I hope.
Okay. Or more or less. Okay, then what about the actual Exogeny facility, the place where I would assume we're trying to head over to next?
What was the building used for?
Oh, yeah, we repurposed that structure to serve as headquarters for Exogeny. That's mostly offices with a number of light-duty R&D labs.
Exogeny is a master at repurposing anything and everything.
The company has to make a profit somehow, Juliana. Feros is a long way from self-sufficient.
Yeah, but I mean, the actual Zeus Hope colony portion, as in the people that with Fidan that we were just visiting previously, they're a lot closer to that than you are here. So it just seems like kind of strange that you guys are convinced that you want to hang out here for the moment when, how long is that going to last you? I think can't be very long. So I think that's everything we can ask you about. In which case, if we're quick, then hopefully it doesn't matter if you're staying here as long as it's just safe.
Stay bunkered down until I find out what the Geth are after.
Of course. And please remember, if you see my daughter...
Yeah, we'll keep an eye out for her, for sure. Can we talk more to Jiang here?
Please, keep your fire to a minimum when you go to the Exogeny building. We want to minimize damage. Oh, and I must inform you that the company will not be responsible for any injuries you sustain while in our facility.
What's your problem? I mean, kind of, sort of. It does just seem like this guy is worried about any and everything that could possibly go wrong. And, well, sure, the list may be long, but at the end of the day, you know, you can only control so much, right? Some of that stuff is just completely out of your control. Can you tell us more about the company, though? It does seem like you are perfectly fine talking about what the company does and does not want of this area.
Tell me about Exogeny.
Please. Exogeny Corp is the premier engine of
Oh, of
colonization
course.
in the new multi-system
Of course, thanks for
economy.
reminding me.
And in conjunction with our core interests, exploration provides a broad investment base for shareholders.
It's a core interests? In conjunction with your core interests. What
What are the
exactly do you
company's
mean?
core interests?
Exogeny has a number of subsidiary companies in many different fields. The most profitable adapt alien technologies. There are many other industrial branches, but they aren't really relevant to Feros.
Okay, now that does give us, I suppose, a little more information. Not sure if we want to actually be that aggressive with him. But, let's see. Other than that, what about you, more specifically? I'm not sure he's going to be willing to disclose such details.
Tell me about yourself, Jean.
Me? Yeah, I was sent here to do some routine estimations of the potential return on investment.
Okay, so you're like
The
a
attack
finance
was
guy.
certainly a surprise to me. I've been trapped here ever since. Can't wait for the Home Office to get me off this rock.
Or an accountant of some variety. Yeah, you know, that does perhaps explain some of the reasons why he was so concerned about just what are the damages going to be if you go into the Exogeny headquarters and fire your assault rifle at a 67-degree angle? Well, how about the Geth attack? Obviously, I assume that's why you guys are bunkered down here and did not make your trip all the way back to the colony itself where the other colonists are.
Do you have any idea why the Geth attacked you?
None. We're scrambling to find anything of value. There's nothing here to warrant an invasion. There's barely enough here to warrant a colony.
Yeah, that is strange. But unless we are willing to kind of pick a fight with them, which, like I said, I don't think we necessarily want to do, then I think that's it.
I'm going.
Please be careful if you go to headquarters. We don't want any unnecessary damage to the facility.
Yeah, you made your point. Let's see, then we've got other
We ran when the attack hit.
random generic refugees, it seems.
We've been trapped for days.
Yeah, see, like, how do you stay here for days is what I'm getting at. There's no food. There's no water here. What? How do you sustain yourselves for days in this location?
That's more than some get.
In a few weeks, none of the colonists will remember this planet even exists.
That's one way to look at it, I suppose. That's a little grim.
The frontier is a lot more dangerous than most people realize.
Yeah,
They wiped out our defenses in minutes.
that's not good.
It just can't get worse than this.
We'll make it better, don't worry.
How are we supposed to fight an enemy like this?
We're making it happen. Don't worry.
If I survive this, I'm going back to Earth.
And then we got a refugee out here.
I hope you can get us out of this mess.
That's the goal. But you may have noticed there is somebody over, where was it? Here, in this corner, who is of some significance. Let's chat with Gavin over here.
I was hoping you'd have a moment to speak with me. I've got a bit of a problem.
Sure.
What do you need?
I need to retrieve some data. It's not a big job, but it pays well.
Okay, sure. Sounds intriguing.
Sounds easy enough. What's the catch?
No catch, really. It's dangerous work, but not for someone like you.
I mean, it's dangerous,
What
that's the
is
catch.
it about you that makes people assume we enjoy being in harm's way?
It's not that bad, really. All you need to do
That
is
depends who you're asking, right?
Headquarters and drop the data onto this OSD. It's that simple.
Okay, I mean, we are theoretically heading over there, right? So, we might be able to help.
I'll look around if I get the chance.
I appreciate it. That data could be worth a lot of money. Of course, this all depends on getting out of here alive.
Yeah. Okay, so in that case, why are you here? I mean, presumably you work for Exogeny, right?
Why work in the middle of nowhere if your skills are so useful?
Maybe I've got a bit of the frontier spirit in me. That, and the alternative is a bit too secure for my liking. Freelancers don't have to worry about security as much, so long as we keep a low profile.
So you're not technically an Exogeny employee, you're an independent contractor who happens to be working for Exogeny? Maybe. What about, can you tell us anything more about this data? What kind of data are we actually getting here? Is this some super incriminating top secret stuff?
Tell me about the data I'm getting for you.
Plans for a few prototype mods. I'm a
Okay.
freelancer. Some of my mods are highly sought after.
Alright, okay, well, now we're talking. Now we're talking. It does seem like, though, that, speaking of talking, is the only other thing we can talk to you about.
Time to get moving.
Just
So let's
keep
get
in mind
moving.
What I said.
And with that, you'll see we now have a new assignment, so a side mission. For Pharaoh's data recovery, a technician named Gavin Hossel has asked you to recover data from his console at the Exogeny base. Once you have the data, return to Gavin for a reward. So, Hossel's console is located in the Exogeny base. Find it and download the data onto the OSD that he gave us. This is, as you might have guessed, the quest that I was referring to where we technically don't need to talk to him in order to get it. You know, if we happen to come across a place where we can collect that data, I think we can just collect it directly, and then, obviously, eventually we would still need to turn back to him to actually get a reward for it, but other than that, we seem to still have, an update here. We should investigate the Exogeny headquarters. Based on what the refugees have told us, the Geth are indeed at Exogeny. Go there to investigate them, and then be on the lookout for Lisbeth Bainham as well. That was, the daughter of the scientist, worker, colonist lady that we were just talking to, Juliana over here. So, in that case, in theory, that should mean that we are done chatting with these people over here. Let's head back into the Mako. And we'll head up this way, but let's maybe resave here now that we've done all of that chatting with people. Then carry on. Ooh, well, I was talking before about how you definitely don't want to go off the sides. This is probably a little bit safer here, but maybe not for long. We are seeing some red dots. They may be on the other side of this garage door of sorts. If we look at our map here, we're now on the upper way station, and we can see... Alright, that presumably is the door to Exogeny approach. Probably this door that we're looking at right here. And whoa, okay, we got ourselves an armature. Fortunately, it seems as though we can strategically decide when and where we want to open that door. And use it as a form of cover. Goodbye. Or we can go like this and poke our head out briefly and shoot people. And then go back behind. I mean, there in theory is still one more enemy here, though I'm not really seeing them. I'm kind of just shooting right in the middle of stuff and hoping somebody goes down. Somebody over there? Probably, though I'm not exactly sure where. Oh, tell you what, though.
The Skyway's crawling with Geth. Package is secure. We're leaving now.
Oh, okay. Not sure what that's all about. Suppose we probably would have thought that the people we were hearing over the radio previously were those in that station we were just talking to, but That sounds like someone, entirely different group of people. But anyways, you'll see here, there's another one of these sections that goes below the Skyway, which is presumably where we'll find this enemy. Ooh, and they're not in a little side area to the side area down there. They are just ready to fire at us immediately. So let's maybe, I could save you. I suppose that does work. Oh, there's another one. I did not realize there would be another one. You are down as well. And so I believe this station will be a little bit different because, as you can see, we'll get an upgrade kit, yes. And sledgehammer rounds, I think those are going to be helpful. Because we don't have too many of them. Medkit, I'm not really sure we have a need for it at the moment. Maybe we'll even just deliberately not take it for said reason. This is even another way in here. Don't think there even is one of those. Is there a side area down here that we can go down into? Or is it blocked off? I think it's blocked off. But as you can see here, this is slightly different in that it doesn't have the same infinitely lootable crate that is specifically in the first of those little side areas that you can go down into. And so that is the place to go. And in theory, you could get it immediately upon discovering it, or, you know, you could afterward continue on, talk to those people we just spoke to, and then double back to get it, if you are so inclined. Because, of course, it is, technically speaking, in some ways, the best source of experience in the entire game.
Shut down the comm. We've got
Where did that come from?
Damn it! Shut down the comm.
There on the other side of that. Over here, I can't really see them. I believe there is... Oh, no. There's not a little side area down there. Where are they? Someone was shooting at us. They are, in theory, like, right on top of us. Yeah. Are they below us? Did I miss the side area? Hold on. I mean, there's still someone shooting at us. There they are. I mean, no, those are ones that are quite a bit further down the Skyway, though. Hold on. Let's see if there's... May even be... Ooh, hold on. Another one of these side areas that I neglected. This is just their gunfire. And that is actually nailing us. That's the one that we went down previously, I'm fairly certain. Yeah, wow, they have crazy range. Yeah, where are the ones that are right here, though? That we can't go into, I don't think. So, in any case, let's try to get rid of some of them. And ideally, duck behind this cover to not get blasted by the armatures. Trying to get rid of the, I assume there's a destroyer right next to it, though, first. Because I assume that would be an easier target, although they're so far away here. It is easier said than done to actually hit them. Can we get through this? We can. Oh, there we go. That's the shot we're looking for. Get the armatures, well, they hit us through this. It doesn't seem like the cannon. I do believe we've now gotten rid of the armature. We can at least get rid of this guy. There we go. Then I think we have either completely destroyed or significantly weakened the force that was shooting us from way down here. There might be another enemy, like, that corner. I think it's another... Yep. Did we get him? No, maybe not. See just barely the outline of him. There we go. But let's keep an eye out for the ones that are in theory right on top of us. Ah, okay. They're definitely down here.
Understood.
In this little opening. May have more enemies in it than the previous ones. That doesn't look good. Based on the quantity of red dots here, looks like there might be one behind us as well, which is in many ways the one that I'm actually most concerned about, so that that doesn't sneak up on us. Although... Do we see you? It's not at the moment, and of course we did just duck out of cover to check that out, so maybe we just get rid of you first. And I do think you have a friend behind you, at least one friend. Let's mess you up. Then, take care of this guy. Okay, and in theory, there's still one person behind us somewhere. Are they down here? Is there a down there? Okay, hold on, this guy's trying to pull fast one on us. I think we can go down there, especially based on how there's a Geth barrier over there. So I think the last person is likely in that area. Let's just check at the moment for any crates and what have you. Make sure we don't miss anything there, but I think we're looking pretty good on this level. Okay, so now let's go down into this side area of side areas over here, where we're expecting to find you. Oh, is that normal yet? He's down. For a second, I thought he was more of a high-level troop.
All targets eliminated.
Out of curiosity. Blast through this. If we actually switch to this weapon. Shotgun doesn't seem to be able to. I was wondering if that'd be kind of devious if there was a crate hiding behind that. I don't think there is, but just because we'd seen ourselves able to break through some of those barriers previously, although for the most part, I think that's definitely something that's easiest to do with something like the Mako. Okay, so more dead people. And then this crate. Okay, this is a level 10 shotgun here. So we are, yes, on occasion, getting level 10 items, and it is the maximum, or well, technically it's not the best rarity type of item. It is below Spectre still, but that is a very good shotgun. And that assault rifle is not bad either. So let's take a look here. Just verify with Tally. Oh, we also picked up some additional stuff here. Some high explosive rounds, scram rails, I'm a big fan of those. Sledgehammer rounds, also those frictionless materials. Yeah, now we're starting to get some really good stuff, so I love that. Let's take a look, though, specifically on Tally's side. Actually, I just want to see the shotgun itself. Okay, so the damage is higher. The accuracy is marginally better, but the heatsink capacity is significantly worse. So in that case, I think what it is that technically, usually Rosenkopf materials and Casa fabrication are sort of on the same level in terms of rarity. However, it may be that Rosenkopf is technically sort of like a specialist of sorts when it comes to weapons. And so even though for everything else, like armor, I don't think they have Omni tools or biotic amps, but mostly for armor, I think they're basically on the same tier as Casa or the other one being Armax, although, and I think one of those three is actually the specialist when it comes to armor, and so although they're usually on the same tier for that, there's one of them that is slightly better for that reason as well. It's just Sokolov is the, or rather the Rosenkopf is the best outside of Spectre for the actual weapons, and so that's why we're seeing this is a level 10 weapon compared to a level 8 weapon, but the level 8 weapon probably still preferable. Probably still preferable. But maybe we take a quick second here to take a look at what we have Liara doing, because now that we've picked up some more frictionless materials and kinetic stabilizers, we definitely have better stuff in this for her. So at least for the pistol, I think we want to go more so with the high rate of fire approach, and then when we're going shotgun, and that's not something that she's trained on, but I think in this occasion, on this mission, might still have her using it on occasion. I think that's more so where we're looking at maximizing the damage and using things like hammerhead rounds to get a little bit of crowd control out of it. So let's go with frictionless materials here, or potentially even kinetic coil. That could be our second spot, I suppose, because she has a lower level stability mod in this second spot at the moment. Oh, hold on, I did not mean to do that. So it's 24 stability, for example, which you can keep at 24 stability and get a little bit of extra damage as well if we go kinetic coil. So why don't we do that? And then, did we put the high explosive rounds for you? We did, didn't we? On your shotgun, that is. So then it looks like we tried to compensate for that by giving you the additional heat damping on the frictionless materials, in which case, alright, maybe we do make sure that we save this one for her shotgun and instead give her accuracy, or I mean, you could go scram rail with the pistol. It is, of course, making it a little bit tougher to shoot as frequently, which is usually something you are looking to do a little bit with the pistol, because, of course, individual shots not incredibly powerful, especially not compared to a shotgun. Let's maybe keep the combat optics for now, and then we'll go double frictionless. over here. Okay. And that appears to be everything here, not gonna lie. When we were standing back here, and Liara was on this elevated slope, I just looked up at her, and she was like, seemed to be twice the size of us. I was like, oh no, another enemy. But we're good. We're good. She's on our side, don't worry.